Yeah, go ahead and ask me questions. Again, I only did one round of looking through my own numbers, so I don't really know what to think of it yet. Honestly, I have to be very honest, but which is why we're here, right? Okay, we're going to find out probably, all right, how we can move forward depending on the stage of your uh, digital marketing journey. All right, every one of us are probably in the different stages of doing digital marketing for our business or for ourselves, or even if you are just doing one very simple Facebook page or starting a new YouTube channel, you must always understand that you can only get data after you publish your content. Many people are not able to reach this stage of analytics because they keep saying that they want to do it, but they never started. So this topic, right, is for those of you who actually have something already. Yeah, all right. I have to put it very bluntly. All right. If you have not started anything yet, maybe this topic can inspire you to start. I am not a magician. I cannot make numbers appear out of nothing. Right? The only way I can get data is basically produce content, and you want the data to come faster, you have to spend money. Facts of digital marketing, you cannot run away. This is what I learned from 2 years. Yeah, today, this year, looking at my own data, it has affirmed this fact. No matter how hard I keep telling myself, okay, let's do it free lah, just do it free lah. It comes to a point that, okay, enough. I want to spend money now. But spend where? Yeah, okay. So that's also the ultimate question. You spend money, all right. When a time where people say, okay, money is very tight, budget is very tight, you want to spend money. Oh, hello guys, you are in marketing. You have to spend money. All right. Whether you are looking at your numbers or you're planning to get the numbers so that you can look at it next year or next quarter, or decide your frequency. Because every single social media, right, is really different, um, captures different data, and also have different timeline of data or frequency of data that you have to probably download it, export it, so that you can do, I don't know, your month-on-month report or year-on-year report, for those of you who like to see trends. All right, so the two reasons why sometimes the data that you collect on your social media needs a little bit more effort to put it together. All right, social media is not going to do everything for you. All right, so those of you who are really good at Excel, Google Sheets, spreadsheets, right, or even managing a database, this is the time to, basically plan what kind of data really matters to your business, and whether you want to keep it or not, and whether what kind of information that you tend to need to report at the end of the month, or at the end of a campaign, or at the end of a certain frequency that really helps your business to adapt. Yeah, nowadays it's very, very volatile, especially digital marketing. It's not like your monthly sales figure. Sometimes some people actually monitor their data on a weekly basis so that they can plan what's going to happen next week, or next 2 weeks, or next month. Yeah, so you can actually see trends week by week. Some people, well, if you're doing live streaming, right? So most of the time we will actually see how did we perform in this round live, how can we make it better in the next round live. So that means it's also modifying content in a way, right? But all this data, it needs to be on your fingertips. Some people need it immediately as soon as the event is completed. Some people actually review it after a certain time. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Okay. So how can we be better prepared this round? Yeah. So CK, I'll share some interesting insights at the end of this slide. I did say I'm going to give you guys a bonus. So I use this very interesting tool called Metricool. Those of you who have come to my earlier presentation before, you probably seen me mention it before, probably seen a few screenshots of me using that before. They actually done a network or platform study on what are the coming trends or what people are doing in 2023 versus what you can expect in 2024. So it's probably a good idea to have a read and look at all these reports so that you can align your strategy. Okay, you look at your data and you align your strategy based on what's likely to happen next year. This could include, I don't know, hire specific people who are very good in certain types of content. It could be hiring a team of people to actually help you run ads. All sorts of things that you can actually plan based on how people would likely to behave in all these different social media. It's also considered data, although this is what we say third-party data. All right. Metricool actually is a platform. So they actually have this software. It's like an analytics or reporting kind of software that collects data from many different Facebook pages, social media channels. All this data are consolidated in one place to produce reports. So because it's their channel and all this incoming data, they use it to analyze, right? What are the trends from certain social media platforms? Sometimes they also dig down to the level of industry. In fact, a lot of SaaS providers out there, reporting tools, analytic tools, social media listening tools, they probably have this kind of paper or this kind of report, okay, being announced already during this time of the year, so that you have some sort of information on what are other people in your niche tend to do and what are the benchmark figures you can use to measure against your own data. Yeah. Some of you might realize that this benchmark is, well, deemed as the average, but if you look at your own data and you do some calculation, you're probably not quite there on the average, but no worries. All right. On digital marketing, usually I would say we don't really compare against our competitors. Actually, what we need to do is look at our numbers and be 1% better than what we did before. It's very simple, very straightforward, but people tend to overthink. And some of you who are actually working as a digital marketer capacity, you probably have this pressure from your bosses to report on certain KPIs. They'll probably tell you, hey, we spend so much money hiring so and so, or getting so and so agency to do this, and that. But does it translate to sale or not? It's the hard questions that probably you have to sit down and look at the numbers and also look against what you have planned. Now, those of you who tend to do things ad hoc, all right, again, you do things ad hoc in a business is a very serious thing. In a business, you shouldn't really, I feel like it and I do it kind of thing. You should really have at least a social media calendar or at least a plan or strategy that you have already outlined, either as a holistic strategy or as a campaign-based kind of strategy. So like, for example, if you're doing a shopping mall, you probably have different time of the year that actually you will do certain things. You will promote certain types of businesses or certain festivals or certain types of programs or initiatives from, I don't know, charitable organizations or some international coffee day kind of thing or international cat day kind of thing, and a lot of events. So you probably need to actually extract all the data from all this elsewhere to put it together in one dashboard. Yeah, it's quite effortful, yeah, if you leave it everything to the last end, then you compile this report. I know, all of you, yeah, when you are one person department, right, it's very hard because if you're going like one event after another event after another event, there's no time to actually do post-mortem. If you don't have or you have never practiced that every time you do a digital marketing campaign, yeah, This is the time also people say, yep, you're going to actually burn yourself on both sides of the candle just to make some report out and ask boss for more money for marketing. Sweating, right? Yeah, you can see a very big sweat appearing on my face right now. Okay, yeah, you wait lah, wait last minute lah. That's the thing that will bite you lah. Okay, but of course, you know, if you're like me, my side hobby is really very casual basis. I don't really have a plan. I'm still an experimental basis. It doesn't really matter. But at some point, right, you really need to know how fast you are going, or how fast you're reaching your goal, or how slow it is. Yeah, reality is hard to swallow. Start with a very small goal. That's why I say a lot of people like to plan big goals, yeah. And then when you want to look at your own number, then you feel like, why I plan my goal so big in the first place? You will regret one. That's why you must be smart, SMART, yeah. Right? Specifically, which channel you want to grow, right? What exactly you want to measure. Is it achievable or not in the first place? Now, achievable is very hard to know unless, well, like I said, you read industry reports, you consult other people doing the same kind of content that you are, or maybe at the same stage as you are. Oh, that person also don't have Facebook page, also want to try and reach 100 followers. So both of you are probably trying to motivate each other. Yeah, you can actually get some sort of benchmark from this other person if you know that this other person is also same style as you. So you can actually carry each other up by benchmarking against each other, which is fun. A lot of content creators normally they gang up together, and they are normally similar stages. Like, okay, you got less than 100 followers. Okay, let's work hard and try to reach our first 100 followers. Yeah. So whoever will reach 100 followers first, they'll probably try to do a shout out or help the other person to reach their 100. So you try to help each other up. Yeah, I have seen groups of influencers help each other like that. Okay, but again, knowing something is achievable or not sometimes requires third-party data, other people data, especially when you're new. Now, achievable can be measured after you have your own data as well. Like I said, do 1% better than the last time you did something. Monitor your own campaigns, then you know whether it's achievable or not. Okay, and especially when you're running paid initiatives like paid ads, well, achievable can be achieved if you have enough money to fuel the ad. So yes, all right. But again, you have to understand also sometimes things that are not within your control. Things are not within your control may actually make your initially achievable target not so achievable. But you can make a note of that, because it's not really something that you didn't do, but it is something that has influenced your KPI or your numbers. Write it down. This is part of postmortem. Yeah, sometimes the honest truth is very funny. Yeah, once you look back, okay, again, the average person's memory is probably 7 seconds. Yeah, so you probably don't remember what happened last month or 2 months ago or half a year ago, right? And especially on the internet, 1 month is like forever. So yes, all right, no calendar, never mind. But try to recall what happened during that month. Is it some major earthquake happening on the news, or something happened in regulation, something happened in the industry, some big change happening on your social media platform? This year itself, we've seen Twitter becoming not Twitter anymore, right? Imagine those people who have been planning budgets, doing digital marketing campaign on Twitter. This is one of the things that they have never seen coming. Yeah, right? It's not really what you did or did not do. It was really influenced by the inner workings of the platform itself. Right now. Another factor this year also, AI. Yeah. People do say that here in Malaysia, we are like maybe 7 to 10 years behind. Whatever that is launched in US, right? And we probably need to wait 7 to 10 years before it reach our shores. Okay, now it's a bit shorter. If you look at every time they announce a new Apple device, probably 2 or 3 months, right? Now, for social media features, what I notice is every time they launch something new on the social media platform, they usually will open the feature globally within 3 to 6 months, depending how popular the feature is in their test bed. And we all know their test bed is normally in the US. So they are basing the popularity of that feature on feedback of their own people. But they never know whether it will work that well in other countries besides US. Which also means if they launch the feature out and they discover that, hey, people don't really use it that much, they can actually cancel the feature. Which is exactly what happened to Facebook Shops. Yes, Instagram Shop is still there. But in case you didn't follow the news, Facebook Shop don't have already. Kosong, habis already, died. Yeah. Why? Because not many people using it. Because competition among different social media platforms. You start to see that a lot of our social media platforms tend to look more like each other. The only thing different is really the type of audience that you have on each and every single platforms. Their appetite for different kind of content is different. So you can probably play into that. When you strategize, right, always focus on the type of content. Then, secondarily, the type of format. Because there's only one thing common among all social media. What they really, really want is your content. Yeah. So those of you who are doing organically, yes, your content strategy is very, very important. All right. So you have content strategy, you know what people want, then you figure out how to fit it into that format so that it gets the traction that you need. These are for content creators. Yeah, I don't know how many of you are actually content creator kind, but you can readapt this to your business as well. Yeah. Anybody has any success doing something on TikTok? I'm just wondering. Well, the year before we came out, woo, freedom from COVID lockdown. Yeah, so fast, yeah. Last year, end of the year, we were just talking about this only. Then now, boom, 1 year over. Right? I still remember before I actually, moved into a new physical location in terms of my living. Yeah, I was doing TikTok quite a bit. I was crazy about TikTok. And then, there's suddenly TikTok shop is launching here and there. A lot of things are, people are interested more in the TikTok shop than the TikTok content. There's a lot of things happening on TikTok that people don't want to talk about. But, viral things could happen on TikTok very fast. Yeah. I think Malaysians, most probably TikTok and Twitter, the two of the top most engaging platforms that you should be on if your metric is engagement. Yeah. If the metric that you're chasing after your goal is engagement, you should be on TikTok or Twitter. That's number one. Of course, Twitter is already half dead. Not you know how to edit this, yeah. Okay. And yeah, don't I don't want Elon Musk to come after me. All right. Yeah, and TikTok is changing their policies a lot. Yeah, some of you, probably those of you who are doing TikTok content, you probably know that, wow, the hammer is coming down a lot. Certain things you can do on the videos, certain things you cannot do on your videos. Especially those of you who are actually producing content to actually sell things, yeah, to promote your products on TikTok. You probably realize that their TikTok shop policy, right? Every 2 weeks, there will be something changing there. Sometimes your product category will change. Sometimes the product that you used to be able to be okay to sell on TikTok suddenly removed. Suddenly you are hit by violation that you didn't know that you went against. Yeah, it's a lot of sudden things. Yeah.
Yeah, I got question actually, because you say
Yes.
like if you want to focus on new thing, go for TikTok and
Yeah, yeah.
video. You TikTok. So does based on TikTok, does the only metric that matter is view, or
Actually,
you
it
need to
depends what
check other things also?
it depends on what you want to do on TikTok lah. If you are a content creator aiming to become affiliate marketer, then you have to night your views. Your views is the most important thing, and of course your followers, because your followers and your views is actually representing the credibility of your account. Then your engagement rate. Because if let's say there's a seller out there that wants to hire you as a content creator for their product or wants you to help them sell their product through the TikTok affiliate, these are the two numbers that you will get filtered against. You know, at the back end, right, TikTok, right, at the back end, they actually have this really wonderful dashboard that helps you locate TikTok influencers. And there's a lot of filters inside there. I've seen it before. And one of the filters is actually your engagement rate and also the size of your followers. You can filter out people based on that. So that's why a lot of people, especially those people who are on TikTok, wants to generate passive income by helping other people to sell things, they will chase after these two metrics: followers and also your views. Two things first, all right? Then they will see your engagement. Usually we will say, okay, the bigger your followers are, we go for them first. All right, maybe they don't engage as much because they focus more on doing content. And a lot of businesses, number one problem is not enough content. I don't talk about engagement yet. If that person wants to look for a live host, then they will focus on TikTok accounts that has very high engagement. Again, filterable and searchable from this TikTok backend. It's under the sellers.tiktok.com. It's free. If any of you interested selling on TikTok, you can actually register for free. The only requirement is make sure you log in every 30 days, I think. Because if you don't log in every 30 days, your account can be locked out. Again, experiment. Okay, I just keep myself logged in. That's why I see a lot of notifications about policy change. And your seller profile, if you are a seller on TikTok, you actually need to achieve a certain level before you can actually get into the TikTok affiliate or TikTok influencer directory to actually look for influencers. So it'll take a while. You start selling first, okay, after 3 months or so, if your rating is good, then you will get access to get, other influencers to sell product on your behalf. Yeah.
So basically like, because you say for views, the beginning you look for views and how many followers. But as people move on with the macam apa nama dia, the campaign, because as we know, digital marketing got like in general lah, 3 types of campaign. We have the awareness, the consideration dengan the conversion, 4 lah sebenarnya if saya tambah like retention for affiliate, stuff like that. But so does the metrics for the first part, which is the awareness part, macam still get tracked throughout the other stage, or they just like macam we track tapi it's no longer important, we move on to a different
of course you have to balance.
How does that like macam works? Because
it's like you imagine imagine this traffic is like a river. It's like a waterfall. Imagine a waterfall. Waterfall usually flow from the high place to the low place, right? So if the water is supposed to fall from a higher place to the lower place, then you have to make sure that nothing is blocking on the top part of your waterfall, or else there's no water going to fall. Right? So when you talk about the stage of your building traffic into your funnel, your sales funnel or your content funnel, all right, in order to get engagement, you need views. If you don't have views, you don't get engagement. So it becomes, yes, tedious, definitely, because it's like you have to balance a little bit of 2 or 3 numbers. But sometimes there are big brands, right? They know that, hey, you know, my competitors are already about 1 or 2,000 followers, right? And I am also almost the same size, right? So I will not focus too much on follower growth, but I will find ways to start moving these people into a stage where they are ready to buy. So maybe it's starting to do live lah, starting to do more about content that demonstrates your product lah. So you will diversify your content for that, but you still need to make sure that there are people, new people coming in. So they will run ads. Instead of getting things organically, like initially the start, or you don't know how much to spend, okay, fine. All right, but okay, later on when you already have your first 100 people or first 1,000 people, on TikTok is 1,000 lah. All right, you probably feel safer when you run ads, right? It actually is more effective. I'm not saying you cannot run ads when you are less than 1,000. You can. It actually is the fastest way to go up to 1,000. But if let's say your first 1,000 people that is following your TikTok is organic, then it's much more, how I say, organically, you probably save money on growing organically, and maybe a little bit more genuine. These people don't follow you because of seeing an ad, but they actually see your actual content. So yeah, then after that, when you actually put your ad out, okay, then you will just make people to be curious and come in. So yes, you have to actually build upon your credibility step by step.
Oh, so basically you don't abandon. Like, it's not like,
No,
Hello,
cannot
you
abandon.
already have 1 million, no need to do a brand awareness again.
Yeah, no,
Like
cannot,
macam
cannot.
you need to run concurrently, no, simultaneously. It's like,
Yes.
it's just that the brand awareness for the campaign probably already start first, and then it's like macam already kat depan lah. But everything need to run
Yes.
together lah. So kalau if it's like that,
Mhm.
does the metric that you need to track also apa nama dia, changes throughout the year or throughout the trend itself? Because I remember when we started with digital marketing, I mean I started in 2018,
Yeah.
people will always go for like number of followers, how many followers you have, how many subscribers you have. But recent years, since COVID, since TikTok, people don't care about like followers that much compared to the numbers of views, because you can have like in YouTube also, you can have like 10 million subscribers, but when you check your apa nama dia, your apa nama tu, when you check your analytics, it is possible that your views come from organic instead of your subscribers itself. So does metric to track changes with trend, with year, or is just still the same thing?
You have to know what you need to do lah when you see the number. Okay, it's kind of hard to explain because you have to know what you're doing in your business lah. The only thing I can give you right now is from the perspective of a person who does my own content, and my only goal is to get monetized. Let's say monetization, as most of you would understand, you can actually do in many different platforms. So I have been shifting my goalposts. That's the number one mistake that I make. Yeah. But let's say, using your example, you want to focus all your effort on TikTok. Then you must ask yourself, why are you on TikTok? Do you have your own business, or you are just a content creator? Yeah. If you're a content creator, there are some metrics that will always be in your head, in front of your eyes. Give you one very big, nice dashboard. That's the first number you want to see. What you want to see on the dashboard is always very different from what another person wants to see on that data dashboard. So then yes, you have to open for discussion. Sometimes, yes, you might be the content creator in the company, but if the boss doesn't see how it links up to your end goal, it's very hard for you to get support or buy-in, we call it. Yeah, so your key metrics for success, the definition of success is whose success. I mean, if you're doing it yourself, of course, you are going to focus on your own success. All right. But let's say you are a content creator for a company, then the company's success metrics is more important than your own. Correct or not? Now imagine this, you are a business and you are hiring people to help you sell your product. Can you see that there is a clash of goals there? All right, so yes, alignment and communication is very important. You cannot keep doing content that increases your own engagement, but not fulfilling the things that you have promised to another business. Same thing, a business will not spend so much time and effort hiring influencers who don't meet their end goal. And so that's why you always have numbers so that you can compare across. And nowadays, we don't hire one influencer only. Usually it's 10 or 20 one. It depends on the influencer size. If your influencer, very big influencer, of course, definitely a lot of money will go out to that one influencer. But if you actually want to make sales, then a lot of times we engage smaller influencers, people who have higher engagement. So that's why there's many types of influencers. Do not be afraid where you don't feel capable. I mean, it's like, no, you have your own value proposition, but you have to justify it. And these numbers, right, can actually help you build something called a rate card. Yes, these numbers you have to present to any business who wants to buy you or use you to promote their products. So the business, if they have someone that is savvy in their numbers, they will take a look and see, okay, we used to spend like what, 200 ringgit just to get 1,000 views on this particular video. If we just, spend this money on you, and you, all right, each of you, I maybe pay 100, okay, 5 influencers, I can get more than 1,000 views on that same video. Why not? Businesses usually look at cost efficiency. Then again, when I say this, you as an influencer, please do not sell yourself short. Yeah, please don't lower your price because they are after cost efficiency, so that I lower my cost, I can get the job. That's only half of the formula. If you lower your cost, but you are not able to produce that kind of quality that is expected of you, then you are making a loss. Yeah, so again, different perspectives depending on what you actually do on social media. Are you a content creator or are you a person who is in business? Now, this thing here is actually from Supermetrics. Supermetrics is an organization that actually creates data connectors for reporting. So they helpfully do up this very interesting diagram here about awareness, consideration, conversion, loyalty, and advocacy. And all these are individual metrics that would matter from a business perspective. Now, a lot of things that influencers and content creators do lies on the awareness and also the consideration stage. 2 stages. Yeah, all right. Now, whether the person converts or not, it depends on what you are supposed to do as a content influencer or a content or creator for that business. If let's say that business is doing affiliate marketing, okay, they want to hire influencers. So they should really know the difference between influencers who can produce really good content to attract or reach further, all right, and also influencers that can actually convince people to buy. Yeah, so that's why you will see 2 types of content creators out there, especially on TikTok. You will have people who do live hosting. All right, TikTok live hosts, usually they will focus more on consideration and conversion. Maybe they talk a lot about the product on the live stream. Okay, maybe they will actually make sure they share the correct link for people to buy, or point down to the yellow bag and get people to buy on the spot. Okay, that's what live stream is for. Especially on TikTok, when you do live stream, you actually can embed the shopping bag in the stream itself. So that's one very, very big advantage that TikTok has. Now, those of you who actually probably have a marketplace on Shopee, Shopee Live also does the same thing. Yeah, but at the end of the day, whether people will buy or not depends on the business. Why I say this? Because if the business is not willing to give an offer that is irresistible, that means that makes people want to do it now or buy now or FOMO, all right? You won't get conversions, no matter how well the live host can talk. Yeah, all right. If you put a human in front of live, hosting, yes, they can create engagement. They can get people really excited. But at the end of the day, you are a business. You want to generate sales volume. So if the sales doesn't happen, then you must ask yourself, is your offer attractive in the first place? Yeah, I tell you, there's a lot of fight regarding this issue also. I mean, if your offer is not sweet enough, then people won't buy lah. No matter how many hours I talk in front of the live stream also, nobody will click on that button. It's very sad. But it's true. As a business, you must understand what exactly is your conversion and how can you make your offer something that is extraordinary, something that you don't usually get. Okay, of course, you can put limited time, you can also put limited quantity. I'm not saying go and make a loss in your business, but you have to have something to create that conversion. Now, post-conversion, loyalty and advocacy, this one is really on the business. Okay? If the business does not highlight certain things that has happened, like for example, this event, this lucky winner, or something that actually you're giving away something, or you are actually highlighting certain customer testimonials, if you don't do all that, you don't get any loyalty or advocacy. And again, unless you have a lot of money to hire a person who consistently talk about your brand all the time, then yeah, sure, you can use influencers to increase loyalty or advocacy, but very rarely you will see this. The only type of business that you will see actively promoting loyalty and advocacy level is what kind of companies? Multi-level marketing companies, MLM. Yeah, they do A to all the way to the last A. Yeah, but a lot of businesses, especially retail, what we tend to do is, okay, get more sales, get more sales, get more sales. But after that, is there any program to actually get these people to come back? Is there any ads to actually get these people to come back? Hey, we've got something new. Yeah. Do you really segment these people who buy products from you, whether you're marketing the right thing to them or not? Again, how you know? Data. All right. You try to email them. Okay, we have this very interesting product. All right. How many people are actually opening that email? Do you try or not? If you don't track this, then how you know whether what you're offering to these people who are already your customer, something interesting that they want? You're not even tracking that, then your loyalty and your advocacy is going to drop a lot. Same thing also, when you track shares or mentions, do you check who actually share or mention your post? Are these people consistently like all your other posts all this while? Have to check one by one. Yeah lah. I mean, if you really, really want to get to know your customer and you're a very small company, of course it is possible. Because you have less than 100 followers, or maybe you have 100, 200 followers. It's a lot of things to track already, manually some more. But of course, lucky for us, there's always online tools that can help you consolidate a little bit. They can actually tell you, okay, these are followers or non-followers, subscribers or non-subscribers. In fact, some platforms also will show you this number. Yeah, okay, so let's go through a little bit more. All right, so how much you're weighing the following metrics. Okay, so these are just some of the metrics that businesses will tend to focus on. All right, but I help you to do it in one list like this so that you can actually see what are the metrics that can possibly matter in your business. All right, so I'm not going to talk too much about paid metrics because I have to be very honest. I don't really run ads for my own content. Probably I should lah, because I've already tracking my own data for 2 years already. I really know that social media marketing is really bullying you like crazy. Yeah, even as a content creator, when you have so much competition out there, and now we're out of COVID, or we're semi out of COVID. Yes, I know some of you are probably saying, yeah, COVID coming back liao. But yeah, we don't know what's going to happen in the future, but we have our own data. So we probably know that, okay, so what happened during COVID? What happened after COVID? What are the gray areas that can go this way or that way? How fast do we need to react when we get these numbers? Yeah, what can we do to actually create a spike? Or what kind of things that we can hop on to create a better traction? Then you decide whether you want to put money in that and push it a little bit further. Yeah. Okay. So interpreting and act on social data. Okay. So what I would say is, if before you analyze everything, you have to collect your data. Collect data means run ads or post content. If these two things you're not doing consistently, you cannot expect consistent data. Like me, all right? I have my own content niche, okay? And those of you who actually follow my channels, you will know, so sporadic one. Suddenly you're active in TikTok. Suddenly you're active in YouTube. Suddenly you post content in blogs. Suddenly you post something on Facebook. Suddenly the time that you post is right in the middle of the night, 2 a.m., 3 a.m. You do things inconsistently like this, the social media algorithm also don't know how to help you. Okay. Which is exactly what happened to me. But again, I'm a more exploratory mode, because I do that because I want to find out really what kind of content or what style of videos actually get people's attention. Right? It's a proof. Like I said, yeah, I do teach digital marketing. I always tell people, you have to have a hook so that people can start watching your video. But to apply that theory in actual content, it can be very different for different business. So you really need to look at your data. Yeah, which is why a lot of students come to me and say, but do you have something for my industry? I am actually doing business to business, B2B. I'm actually doing bakery. I'm actually doing certain niche, right? I can only quote what I've seen other people do and went viral, but that's it. But I don't really know who your audience is or how you have designed your content to flow in a way that people want something from you. Do you have that or not? Do you have something called a funnel? Yes, you have data about how many people interact with your content, but do you have a flow of point A to point B and to point C? You have that or not? You have a conversion point or not? All right, some people don't have. They expect the sales magically to come, but it doesn't work that way, right? So extract and track the flow of relevant information. So this information A, okay, your hypothesis is it will make people be curious on what they can do next. Therefore, I'm going to show them information B. Once they see information B, if they spot, certain terms that they're not familiar with, all right, next thing what they will do, search the internet, what they will find on the internet. Or wait for your next content, or look for something that actually explains that very strange term that they actually saw in your content B, which is your content C. Right? Content C, you do some explanation, you give a little bit more value, you relate to them so well. Example, a live event, live hosting, live selling, all right, or even a live talk like this. Okay, I go down to your level. So what actually you do, or what's your business? All right, and finally, this person actually has a light bulb moment. Okay, so do you have that point of contact? Yeah, you want people to fill out a form, or you want people to sign up for a class, or you want these people to download an ebook or keep your name card? What is it? A lot of people don't have this. They don't even have the flow of information that leads to that eventual action. If you don't have that, it's very hard for you to analyze, because you don't know what your goal is. You don't know how your content A is going to lead to content B, and your content B is going to lead to content C. Where I say this one is on a content basis. Now, for bigger businesses, they have to do one more factor on top of that, which is your touch point. Some of you have website, some of you have multiple social media channels. Yeah, so where they can go to find this information. So you can see that actually you're building a little castle of content, a little city of content where people can actually access to certain things. And do you have the right thing to get people to do something? That's a funnel, right? Now, you want to correct, okay, some incomplete or missing data. Sometimes on social media, it will tell you views. How many people view this video? All right. How many people view this video until the end? And the end of your video actually has a call to action. All right. Okay, people fill out form. But actually, unless your social media channel actually has a built-in form that actually gives you the numbers, this data is something that you have to track outside. It's not inside your social media platform. That's what I mean by incomplete or missing data. You cannot really see your conversion information in that platform, which happens a lot to all of us. All right. Those of you who don't actually have Google Analytics, you're going to get stuck. You're going to say, okay, sure, people are watching all the way to the end of my video. Yay! But actually, how many people actually fill out the form? You don't know. Yeah, unless you start going back to your email account and say, okay, how many notifications I get because of someone filling out the form. That is if you have made your form to send you notification. Don't have, okay, go back to the original form. Hey, how many people actually fill up the form during this time? And again, if your content is something that is ephemeral, that means it's always there in your social media account, what is the duration of the input or the form submissions that you will track? All the way, or maybe there's a cutoff. Okay, as of September 30th of September, right? This is how many forms that we get, how many submission. And then you start another calculation for the next month. Yeah, so this is one way to make sure that you are calculating your conversions instead of waiting for everything to be done and close campaign. Now, of course, if you're running a contest, usually there's a last date. Contest ends, don't know when. Or promotion ends, don't know when. Okay, that would help a lot. All right, you don't have to deal with, constantly coming and constantly segregating your number of leads or how many leads you actually get per month, because it's only on a campaign basis. So that's the reason why people actually do digital campaigns. They have separate months. Yeah, all right. Predict and model the flow of information. Again, if you have a design tool that help you model after your flow of information, you can actually put in numbers at the bottom. So that it tells you, okay, 100 people actually see this video. Okay, 10 people actually click on that link. But how many people actually fill up the form inside your website? Or how many people actually click somewhere else or go somewhere else in your website? It might not actually lead to the conversion that you want, but you still need to at least know how many percent of conversion you're expecting on each and every single stage. Then if let's say 100 people coming into your form to fill up your form is not enough, then you probably need to combine a little bit. Okay, one social media not enough. I need IG, I need TikTok, I need YouTube. All right, since my form is actually on my website, then my website will become my headquarters, my main site of content. All right, so you have to combine your social data with other data so that you can triangulate. What happens when you run ads on Facebook? Actually, when you run ads on Facebook to promote a video, people will actually go to your video and then will actually click on your website link from your video call to action. You actually have to find out how that flow actually works. So those of you who have multiple social media platforms, this is going to be quite a headache, yeah, if you did not actually build the content based on a plan. Yeah, very scary. All right. So of course, then you harness the insights and engage on social media so that you can get some qualitative feedback. Yeah, don't just focus on the numbers that social media can give you, which is very obvious based on people's behavior. But the other very important bits of information that you should get from social media is really the qualitative content, like people's comments, people's reviews, what people say about your business online. So a lot of people tend to omit this part is because qualitative data is the hardest to analyze. How you know this is good or bad? How many people actually say this is good, this is bad? How do we measure that? You cannot measure qualitative content unless you group it up into something called sentiments. It's positive or negative. Okay, at least you have that. All right, and then based on that, you can actually feed it back to your product development team or your marketing team to, let's say, hey, we need to fine tune how we talk about this product, or we need to fine tune how people can use this product for their specific purposes. Yeah, but normally that kind of information comes from qualitative content. Yeah. Now, in case you don't know, and in case those of you who are on Meta, all right, one of the things that you have to know is your information on Meta is not going to be there forever. You can be on Meta for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, but I would highly suggest please export your data every quarterly or so. Because when Facebook wants to cut down or they want to clean up their server, they can actually remove all this data or metrics that is collected on the platform. They do not need to ask for your permission. They can tell you, okay, we are doing some server maintenance. And usually this is a very generic term to say that they're going to actually clean down their data a little bit. Yeah, the most I've seen, I can actually go back 1 year before on Facebook. If that information is very important for you to decide on trends, please download the data. Right? So you can fix your date range, you can download different types of data. All right. And usually it will end up like a CSV file. Right? So let me just go into my page here. I just downloaded this data this morning. Okay. So it will become like CSV data. Yeah, at this point, I think those of you who are allergic to numbers, I know not all of us are very number-friendly people, huh? But yes, if you are allergic to numbers, allergic to spreadsheets, okay, this is going to make you faint. All right, so this is what happens when you export, yeah. All right, and you can see that actually what information or what things that you put inside your post is actually inside here also. All right, so if you really want to do content analysis, you can. All right, you look at the data that is actually exported out, caption type, in-course post, whether date, okay, how many people actually click. I know it's very, very tiny numbers, it's a lot. And depends on how often you post your content, it will be a lot. Let's say you're posting on IG, right, 3 times a month, 3 times a day. All right, you add up, it's a lot, you know. So how you can actually measure all that, right? So what I would like to propose is also, once you export your Excel file, all right, or your CSV file, CSV is usually the go-to format that I refer to, because if you export to Excel or Google Sheets, right, actually it's formatted in such a way that not necessarily, you know, report processing tools will know how to understand your data to produce reports. So if you're using a dashboarding tool or you intend to actually put this in another system, usually they will be default to the generic CSV format. Yeah. So this is ChatGPT. Yeah. So those of you who are interested in doing ChatGPT and using ChatGPT for analysis, make sure your files or your data is all in CSV. All right. So I purposely did something. All right. Before I started this talk, obviously it's already 9 o'clock and that also don't bother to stop me. All right, I know. Okay, so yeah, just to give you an idea, in case you have data magically come from somewhere and people tell you that this is the performance of my post so far. All right, can you help me analyze? Yeah. Yes, you still have, you know, ChatGPT, it can help you. All right, so just ask ChatGPT, what can you tell me about my channel on my Facebook? Okay, so they will look into the CSV file and they can guess. Make sure you tell the bot where you get the data from, the name of your social media channel. Yeah, all right. So this one, okay, this is a ChatGPT. Okay, what columns that they have? Okay, they will tell you what is inside here first, and then please let me know which specific areas you're interested on or any specific question. All right. So, like for example, which are the best time to post? Oh my God, this question, right? It's always constantly on my mind, because again, I want to be consistent, but again, consistent means you have to know what time to post, right? And it's very hard for me to actually go through like thousands of lines of posts to know which one actually has higher engagement. Yeah. So they will probably base on the date of your post. That means the time of your posting. All right. Because from if you're very number sensitive, you will actually take a look at your data and you notice that that list of data is actually a list of your posting, and the only date that is there is actually your date of post. Yeah, so it's not really very great if you really want to find the a very clear chart of active hours or engagement time. But you know, based on the many different experimentations on different time that you posted your posting, they can actually say, okay, hey, you know, Monday, sometimes you post it on Monday, sometimes you post it on Wednesday, sometimes you post it on Friday. All right. But usually this is what they can see, correlation between all the posts that you posted on certain days. Like I said, people like me, I don't have a plan. I don't even have a content calendar. So I don't really know when I posted when, you know. Oh my God. Yeah, I know it's very hazard. But luckily for us, we have ChatGPT. Yeah, so those of you who want to get AI to help you set yourself to the right path, okay, do this first. All right, get ChatGPT to help you come up with a content calendar. What time to post? All right, first thing. Okay, this is like constantly on my mind. Okay, how am I going to ask this question? and the more social media platforms you have, do it for every single one of them. Yeah, this one is just Facebook only. Yeah, this is just Facebook only that I'm doing this. I have YouTube, I have Twitter, I have TikTok, I have a lot of others. All right, so yeah, I have to probably repeat this for every single platform. But again, remember my set of data is only the first quarter. That means from certain date to certain date. It's not enough. If you really want to know trends, first quarter, how they behave, second quarter, third quarter, then you have to model your data in such a way that it makes sense to you. Your content calendar might be on a monthly basis instead of a whole year. This is why I say sometimes as a content creator, you have to be very fluid, very volatile. Oh, you know, it's the season of people very busy. They don't have time to come to your live stream. All right, but how you know? Well, if you have done live stream on that time, you probably remember during that time, why my view zero and why nobody dropped by on my live stream? Yeah, you probably remember at that time that happened. But let me ask you this question 6 months after. You won't remember. You will not realize that, yeah, Lord, there's so many times that there's no views, but I can't remember exactly when. Yeah, so writing a diary about what happened, it can be helpful if you have a journal, but most of us are too busy for that. We just hit, run, go, right? And then only after that, okay, because we got numbers, we look back lah, see whether it makes sense or not. All right. So this is one of the questions that you can ask in a typical week. Which are the best times to post? Of course, you can change this question like in a typical year, if you have a whole year data, which are the best months to post what kind of content? You can actually ask that. All right. Okay, great. Now, I'm going to go into YouTube. All right. So this is White Coconut Gaming. All right. So this is my YouTube channel. This is something that I went crazy over since April, I think. Yeah, I even have an Excel sheet. I was so tired of leaving it to the fate that I decided, okay, enough. On April, I'm going to start doing something. I'm going to be a little bit more organized. I'm going to track every single thing that's happening because one of my goals is to monetize my YouTube channel. I want to know once and for all how fast I'm growing or how slow I'm growing or how long more do I need to slog and post video until I get 1,000 subscribers. Of course, there are some observations you can do as and when you post content. All right. So I was really crazy, I think, because I posted content every day in April, May, and June. Every day. Okay. So if you have something like this, you probably can go into analytics and you can actually see your whole year. Now, analytics, there are two types. There's the summary dashboard view. If you want to export data, I will advise you to go to advanced mode. Go into advanced mode, you will see a more Excel kind of thing. These are the data that actually has to come out and go into your reporting or go into ChatGPT. Yeah, so you can actually fix whether you want the lifetime or you want to for the last 365 days. You have to decide what set of data actually matters to you. Yeah. So in my case, I was just, playing around, okay, as usual, just to find out, hey, you know what, you can tell me about my data. So I do get some spikes, yeah, in April, in all fairness, all right? Oh, yeah, I posted something every day. Wow, yeah. But not all content will perform the same. In fact, if you look at the lines, it's very small. It's not very obvious, but you look at the lines, yeah. The moment I started posting content on the weekly basis, okay, you will see something consistent. This is what you can see if it is in a line chart like this. You will know that, well, posting things every day can actually cannibalize your own content. But again, if to order really, really be sure, you can click on download, okay? And you just download the CSV, again, pass it on to, Google, to check, open ChatGPT, okay? And, just get it to help you analyze, okay, what could have happened. All right, they will give you a hypothesis. They will not tell you exactly what happened. So I uploaded my YouTube, just tell me about this data because I don't really know what to export. All right, so this is a zip file, yeah. When I exported the file out from YouTube, it is actually in a zip file, and ChatGPT is very smart. They will know inside your zip file actually has a table data, has a chart data, and has some totals. And out of this, you can actually do this kind of thing. There are some metrics here. So what kind of insights that you want? So that's where your question comes in. So you ask questions where it matters to what you are doing or your workflow. In my case, I want to know, yeah, can you tell me what is the popular topics that has many views? All right. So they'll tell you, okay, your views, right, in the overall sense, the top 10 is actually this. I can get it to summarize, okay, which game that actually has the most views. Because I remember this is again based on my already very poor memory. I remember, I think every 2 months I changed the type of videos that I posted there. You can say it's a different kind of game, or you put it in a general sense, it's different topic. Yeah. So from there, you can actually see whether it's performing well or not. But again, ChatGPT doesn't know how the YouTube algorithm works. They don't know what is trending during that time. They can only quote, well, in terms of views, this seems to be popular. Okay, some of you probably think, wow, this is not very clever. Yeah, but it depends on the quality of your content. If your content actually is talking videos, you can actually get it to do something more. You can actually tell them, okay, for the top video, when they typically stop, do they stop on the 3rd minute, 4th minute? Okay, what did I say in the 3rd and 4th minute? You can ask it that. ChatGPT 4, sooner or later, it will happen. They will know how to go into your video, get your transcript, or in fact, you can actually export every single video, your transcript out, and throw it inside ChatGPT 4 and just ask it all the questions that you want. So those of you who are content creators who do more talking videos and you really want to know, hey, usually people will like to jump on which point of your video. And usually that point of video is about what topic. You can actually do a further qualitative analysis on your video content. Yeah, so it depends on the type of video. I can't do that because mine is gaming video. So it's not a lot of talking or content that I can digest. I can only, based on the popularity on the title or on the game title set, right? Okay, all right. So 9, 10. Okay. Oops. All right, so TikTok is something that I've done very long time ago, so I don't really have a lot of data on that. But let me tell you, TikTok usually they only have up to 90 days information. So TikTok, if you have not played TikTok before, they finally got their act together. All right, and they have something called a business suite. I think it's not a live center, but it's a business suite. Okay, this is live. If you're doing live on TikTok, then yes, it matters. But let's say you are just only posting TikTok videos. So you go to your business suite. Okay. And here inside the analytics here, okay, you will see your overview. All right. So Oh yeah, that only last 60 days, yeah. So if those of you who really want to track what's happening on TikTok in a trend basis on the whole year, every 60 days, please download your data. They will not keep it. Very manual, I know. You probably need a full-time person to take care of all your social media channels just to download data. When they download the data, please make sure they label it properly. All right. From what date, last 60, or from which date to which date. All right. It's easier for you to compile them all into one sheet when you want to feed it to your, ChatGPT for further analysis. Yeah. So now you know, yeah. Okay. TikTok is only 60 days. Facebook, if I remember, up to 1 or 2 years also can. So it's about on a monthly basis. YouTube, I think it goes much longer than that, but usually if you look at the filters, it's about 365 days. Yeah, so every year, download the data. Again, you can actually put this in every quarter if, let's say, you want to actually see your data or update your dashboard every quarter. Most people will do on a quarterly basis, following the subculture of a lot of organizations. They replan. They have a very yearly budget, but they split the budget into quarterly or specific digital campaigns. Might cross quarterly, might be half a yearly, but yeah, when you want to analyze data, you decide how often you want to analyze your data. Now, those of you who are very big headache, yeah, my Facebook page very popular. So many people comment on my Facebook posts. Yeah, how do I analyze all my Facebook posts? Okay, yes, there is a tool that actually helps you extract comments. So if in your post be more like the engagement, you want to actually do some qualitative investigation on who are these people who post, not who are these people, but what they actually post, comment on your post. All right, those of you who are from LinkedIn, yeah, this probably will be important, because people who are on LinkedIn, they tend to be much more worded and much more concise in what they say in the comments. So yeah, you want to analyze that, and you want to maybe extract a few insights or a few interesting things, okay, from all the individual posts. Now on LinkedIn, because you only probably post like 2 times a week, all right, so you can actually extract it manually, just copy and paste all the list of comments and plug it in the Excel sheet somewhere. But let's say you are a page that has 10,000 friends, and every time you post something there, and pop, you got 100, 200 comments. Oh my God. All right, it's very hard for you to copy and paste. And for those of you who are on Facebook, you probably know that you have to relevant comments lah, newest comments lah. There's so many filters there that actually hide comments. The algorithm hides comments on certain people. So you can use this to export the comments. Okay. All right, there's a few settings here you can do a certain post, okay, but you have to log in on Facebook. You can also filter by, comments that has mentioned certain people or certain words or certain hashtag, and you do further analysis on that. Yeah. All right, so this is one way for you to actually find out what people are actually saying when you post that piece of content. Yeah, this is really for people who have a lot of comments to go through. It's very hard to do it manually. All right, so sometimes people do post by post. Sometimes people do in a flow of content that leads to a sale, because you want to identify when you post content A, what questions people will ask. Do they ask the question again in content B? That means they didn't actually feel satisfied when they actually see content B. That means there is an informational gap that you can address in a different content or for this specific type of people. Or maybe you need to reword things, or maybe you just need to not mention this particular keyword, but use a simpler way to explain. So that's why qualitative investigation is very important if you really aim to make your content better. Yeah, right. My favorite tool, okay, this is Metricool. All right, I believe I showed it to you before, right? So those of you who have come to my previous talk, okay, maybe just a glance. Metricool, you can use it for planning your content if you already have a calendar. So like my case, I don't have. So the only way I use Metricool is really to find out how fast I'm growing. Yeah. Now again, this is analytics and also real time. Usually I will rely more on analytics. For those of you who have extremely busy and active social media channels, real time probably fit you better. So yeah, but analytics is most of the time good enough if you are doing a recap. That means every 3 months you see what happened. Every year you see what happened. All right, so analytics is good enough. You can change your days here. Again, they cannot promise much. They can only up to 3 months because this is actually a free platform. They only give you up to the last 3 months information. But for those of you who want to have a nicer overview of what's happening across all your different touch points, this is so by far very useful. I have heard a lot of my students who are in the hotel line, they actually use this a lot. They say it's really, really helpful to focus on certain things that they do as a business. So again, if you pay for a Metricool account, you can actually include more brands. So let's say you're one business, but you have like 2 or 3 different brands under your business. All right, so you want to use the same dashboard. Okay, you probably can switch different brands. Okay, here I think you will get a brand button here to change different brands. All right, and you can go into different sub channels here also. Okay, so the good thing about this is you can go to your website as well. So if you're tracking your website, you can get web analytics. But if you're only interested in your social media, so you can actually see your growth. How is it? Some charts. Okay, some likes per post, daily page views. I think these are very obvious numbers in front of you. Like I said, if you have a dashboard like this, it's very convenient because you can see what am I doing good, what am I not doing good. All right. Demographically, sometimes it's easier to see it here than the one that is from Meta Business, because in Meta Business, you have to actually click many different places to actually get this information. So yeah, this is what I mean by dashboarding. If you know how to dashboard your business data, your stakeholders, be it your boss or your colleagues or other business unit, they don't have to go everywhere just to find something. All right, so clicks on the page, post published in this period, different types of posts, okay, and the list of posts that you posted, reels. Now you can actually filter, yeah, reels or whatever posts, or maybe click on page. It's just easier for you to go through the entire report in one page. Yeah, okay. So if you have a premium plan, you can benchmark yourself against your competitors. But I like to say use your competitors as a benchmark. You're not comparing head to head with them because of a lot of reasons. Your funnel will be different from them. 2, the way you measure your success is different from them. 3, they might be at a different stage of digital marketing. That means they might be putting more money in advertising. You can never catch up on their reach. You can never catch up on their reactions or comments because they actually pay for them, right? So why you want to compare these numbers when other people are already paying for all this data, right? But at the very least, when you put your list of competitors here, you know what's happening in their channel every quarterly. So you will know that, hey, you know, particular time of the year, it seems that they have a lot of reactions or comments, you know, what kind of content that they are doing. So you can zoom in further. Again, the contents that you see here is your own content. You cannot see your competitors' content unless you use a tool like, I don't know, Rival IQ or something to actually see what is their popular content, or you actually observe them manually. Like I said, focus on yourself, do 1% better, but get inspiration to get this tool to actually highlight to you how fast they were increasing, how better they're doing. Again, paid plan only. All right. So for me, it's really good enough for me to see my own data. I'm very happy already, actually. Yeah. The only thing I'm not doing is because I don't work on this channel full time. So my posting is very sporadic. So those of you who are curious on YouTube, yes, I can see my YouTube. So you can see it's actually growing lah, for some reason. And I'm still posting on a weekly basis. It's a much steadier growth compared to the time when I posted it like what on a monthly basis. Yeah, but this one I cannot see anymore. I should have screenshotted in April, yeah, when I actually see the data. It was very depressing. Believe me, the chart was very, very different. Okay, I should have screenshot that. But anyway, okay, again, lesson for me, as I share it for you. All right, this is what I discovered lah. I should screenshot that. Okay, it makes good content also if you're planning to talk about yourself and your journey to actually get better at your social media game. Content creators, we do this all the time. It's not because we want to toot our own horn, yeah. It's because we want to share how we go through this cycle of getting the results that we want. Okay, and sometimes it will inspire other people. Yeah. All right. Analytics on yes, analytics. Yes. Again, when you measure something like click-through rate, okay, this one is a very, very big subject. Click-through rate, how can you be sure, these people click on that particular link on your social media and they really end up in your website? Oh, this is very important. They really end up in your website or not? Okay, that's the thing. And the other thing that you need to measure is also how long they spend on your website. 2 seconds, 22 seconds. It means probably the link that you're sharing is not interesting. They only stay for 22 seconds and they go away. Okay, then probably you need to fine tune. Maybe the content on your website is laid out in such a way that people cannot find what they need to find. Maybe they're just looking for that form to fill up. But your landing page is so long that it takes people 10 seconds to read everything. Then only they reach your form. They probably give up already. Yeah. So again, yes, this is one of the very important columns that I will usually monitor when people actually click on the link from social media to my website. It will tell me whether these people are really interested or not. So this one here, like organic search, organic video, you can actually break it down on to see whether, okay, organic social, which particular platform they're from. So like, for example, I'm just going to quickly demonstrate this. Okay. Again, I'm looking forward to actually start the class on Google Analytics, yeah, because this is basically what I do. I monitor my data. All right. And the good thing about Google, right, is you can actually filter up to 1 year, last calendar year, or even this year. You can actually go on a yearly basis. It keeps much more data compared to your social media. Yeah. So in the last 12 months, I can actually see, how many people actually come to organic search, in which particular medium. Like I mentioned before, there was one time I was more active in a certain platform. So you'll probably see that platform's name appearing inside the result. So again, use your web analytics to confirm when people click on a link to go to your website, what else they do on your website. Do they really end up in your website? And how long do they really spend? Apparently, when people go organic search on Bing, they spend about 4 minutes. What does this tell you? Oh, yo, I should have promote more, or should I focus more on SEO for Bing, not Google? Alright, not right. So again, have data. Know what data makes what sense. This is a skill that you have to grow unless you attend classes where the person is willing to share. Like me, One Consultant Gaming right now is not making any money. So all the data I'm showing you now is still okay for me. When my channel actually makes money, then I will probably not show this kind of information so freely. And I'm very well aware that whatever I'm showing today might end up on YouTube video. So yeah, all right, okay. So you, I'll probably take this as a moment in memory when I freely share my information about my channels. You ask any big influencers out there, are they willing to share numbers like this? Unless they are using their portfolio to teach. Then yes. Scary, right? Okay. All right. So yes, screenshotted for you in case any of you who actually have analytics. Okay, you can go and do it. Looker Studio is a tool free from Google. You can build your own dashboards. All right. You can actually get pay if you pay for Metricool, right? Whatever data that is collected from Metricool, you can import it into your Looker Studio dashboard. All right. So Looker Studio is actually the old name for this is actually Google Data Studio. They rebranded it because they bought over another company called Looker Studio. So it's one of the things that I usually teach my students for those that want to actually link up your social data with your website data. So these people are usually people who already have their website like about 2 or 3 years. There's a lot of traffic going in their website. They only just started adding social media as additional data on activities. But the problem is if they have 3 social media means they have to go into 3 different analytic tools to get the data out, to put in one screen so that all the business unit can filter or can actually see the data themselves. What's happening on social media when, what result it brings, what kind of content is useful, which one they should focus on. Yeah. People who build dashboards, data dashboards, tend to make a lot of money. Yeah, because you have to connect with different platforms. We call it integration of data. And yes, these are people who also clean up data, export data. Yes, this is a job that can be done remotely. Just in case you're wondering, if I want to look for someone that help me analyze my social media data or my website data, can I find someone remotely? You can. There's a lot of data analytics people that actually work remotely. But I have to say make sure you only give certain access to these people because technically they are not under your employment. Means if they are not careful, your business data can accidentally be leaked out. So I think it's for social media and for website kind of analytics is good. But do not give your internal CRM data lah, sales data lah to an outsider. In that case, right, you probably need to hire a full-time person that is under your company employed just to make sure that you comply to GDPR, GDPA, that kind of thing. Yeah, so that's the difference here. But let's say, you are like a content creator, very big size content creator. I'm so busy doing content, I don't have time to see data. I need someone to put everything together in sheets or report and give it to me on a timely basis. Yes, you can automate it. I'm not saying you cannot. You have to pay for it lah. But sometimes when you have a human brain to see your data, they can help you summarize better. All right. But again, I would say those of you keen to do automation, Looker Studio is quite good also for automation. You just need to set it up once. Sometimes, yes, if your social media decides to change API, like for example, Twitter, all right, Twitter needs to be able to integrate with a lot of systems, especially LinkedIn. All right, the moment Twitter rebranded to X, all their API broken. So data integration, you can forget about it. You actually have to export your data manually from their analytics interface. In fact, their analytics also, a lot of things are hidden if you are using their free plan. X already now have a paid plan, yeah. And what is in the paid plan? Usually data that is important for your business. They will hide certain analytic data from users in the free tier. It happens. It's already happening on LinkedIn. So it's only natural that Twitter also follows the same footsteps. Because there's a lot of business people in the US that actually rely on Twitter and LinkedIn. Yeah. Again, most of you will have your own CRM. Tap into your CRM to analyze people. Behavior on the internet is usually very short term. You can track that every month, every year, every month, every quarterly, or every year. But sometimes when you want to fine tune your sales funnel, sometimes you have to zoom in your segments, your audience itself. So demographically, rely on your own data is more accurate than relying on data that all these individual social media platforms collected for you. Because they're very, very heavily influenced with algorithm. So especially those of you who wants to focus more on loyalty and advocacy, understanding your customer is usually a very super important metric because these are the people who are more likely to be easier to upsell to and to increase sales. Yes, social media is important for new customers, but how about returning customers? Sometimes one of the best channels of increasing your sales is actually your current customers. Yeah. All right. Comparison tools. Again, this one you can use for benchmark. Let's say, for example, competition, brand A and brand B, which one does better? All right. So you can actually use the comparison tool and you can compare against two different brands, see how well they do certain things. Okay. See what kind of video actually works well for them. You can actually study that as well.
This is by DMC, DMChampion. Thank you, Wan Yi, for spending your time for our last webinar tonight. So I would say next year we like I mentioned in the earlier time earlier today that next year we are reviewing our data like today, and then we are going to come up with a new strategy for the DMChampion also and for the webinar start. So if you think you benefited for this whole year from the DMChampion, tell your friends if they can join in. Then you can invite them so that you can share the knowledge with them also. So that's it from my side, and thank you, Wan Yi, and see you everyone again in 2024.
Okay, see you guys. Happy New Year. Bye bye.